Good afternoon to you. This is for students in the ENG 162W3 late start class. I wanted to give you a pretty good idea about what you have to do from now until the end of the semester. Um, the best advice that I could definitely give you, though, is with the consumer report, it's actually not due until December 13th. But I would work on it a little bit at a time, because today is November the 8th, and so in essence you have a little bit over a month left. And what I always like to do as a student myself when I would be doing projects is chip away at it. I can even tell you in buying a new front-loading washer and dryer, I ended up buying a Whirlpool Duet, and actually did even more research, and many people said, you're better off having these pedestals, which are sliding drawers that you can put under the machines, and you can store towels and laundry supplies and so on, and it really declutters your laundry room, and it has a very nice effect. And the other effect, which is a really good one, is it raises the machines off the floor, and so it's easier to get laundry, in and out of them. So, but anyhow, when I ended up buying these machines, I went to Lowe's, I went to the Home Depot, I went to, I think there's a store in Greensburg called Cabin Hill Appliance, that they mainly handle Maytag, and they do Whirlpool, and they do other brands. But anyhow, what I wanted to mention, I went there, spoke to an appliance repair person from Connellsville, and who was very helpful. I actually went to this other appliance repair place, and I asked them which ones they recommended, and then I asked them which ones they would not recommend. And they didn't seem to like Bosch, which is a German company, and that they said that they're made for European homes, which means they're smaller, and they're harder to get parts for. But they were really enthusiastic about Whirlpool, Kenmore, Samsung, LG, and some others. So, excuse me, but anyhow, like I said, I ended up going with Whirlpool. And the one point that I really wanted to stress to you as well is, when you're buying something, don't only consider the initial cost of purchasing something. So, for example, I don't know, I might have paid $1,300 or $1,400 together for these two, this washer and dryer. But boy, does it save me money, because number one is my electric bill is lower, since they're both Energy Star compliant appliances, and then also too, the washer washes quicker, and it spins out the clothes better, and it's not as hard on clothes because it doesn't have an agitator in it, and so that's an advantage. I think it consumes like half the water. And so, that's a definite advantage. And then the dryer shuts off when the clothes are dry. And it has sensing technology in it. So, as I said, the initial cost was high, but over time, you save money. And the same thing, too, with a high energy efficiency furnace and air conditioner. It'll cost you more initially, but over the long term, you definitely save money as far as that goes. So as you work through your consumer report, start to write it a little bit. And sometimes when you write it out and you start to put information on paper, then, when you're watching TV or you're doing something or taking a break from schoolwork or something, you can always take a look at your notes and start to formulate ideas. The best consumers are the ones that ask good questions when they go to a store or a car dealership or whatnot, because it shows you've done your homework, and it shows you are, prepared. And I often think that sometimes people, when they go to the grocery store, they'll spend more time thinking about cat food or ice cream than they would in buying a new vehicle or making a major purchase, such as a piece of exercise equipment and so on. But if you really do your research and you spend the time, energy, and effort on it, it does pay off for you, overall. So I would really stress that to you. But like I said, we do have a month to complete the consumer report. But naturally, if you do submit it by December the 6th, you'll get an additional 10 points on it bonus. And if you submit by that Friday, November 29th, like that Friday after Thanksgiving, then you'll get an additional 20 points on it. So it's an inducement for you to try to finish sooner. Now, the other point that I wanted to tell you is, after the summary of sources, which is due this week for the consumer report, and I like to do these checkpoints to see where you are on your work. The next assignment is the written instructions, and I can tell you that that's a very, very good assignment to do, not only for good practice in this class, but if you ever manage or supervise people, you want to be able to articulate how you want certain items done. I had a student in class before named Bill Mangan, and he was an executive chef at Velazzi's in Greensburg. I believe that's where he worked. But he said that, he was able to see is if the servers would present menu items at a certain time, or they could more accurately describe what they are, they were able to get a 30% increase in the number of items that people would buy. So, with a meal. So if you get a customer, if you get 1 in 3 customers to buy, get coffee and an after dinner dessert, or to get an appetizer and so on, that really helps, the restaurant. So he would train servers to present food in a certain way, and then also, too, to know the menu and be able to explain the menu, and even things like, is this gluten-free, or, how do you make your sauce, or what are some of the ingredients? And so not only did he have to explain to the chefs and so on, his assistants what was going on, but he had to communicate that to the serving staff, and so that was very, very helpful overall. And the other point too that I wanted to mention with that is they were finding they were having inconsistencies with the food prepared, and so, like, for example, with veal parmesan, it wasn't made a similar way, and so he got them to follow standard recipes and got them to prepare the food and also plate it and present it in a certain way, and he said it was a much better result and much more consistent food. So what I'm just telling you is, if you manage or supervise people, you want things done in a certain way. And, if you, for example, if you were going to have your employees learn how to operate an AED, like a defibrillator, or you wanted to tell them where they were located, and what situations they should consider using them and so on, or what to do in an emergency situation. You can give written instructions as far as that goes, and that would be really, really helpful, to do. So with written instructions, don't only think of them for this class, but think of them, for your work. But if you're working with a nonprofit group, or if you're working with young people, as far as if you were going on a trip somewhere, or if you were going on a hiking trip, some things to keep in mind for their own safety and the safety of the party. And so, those would definitely be useful. When I was in California, I went to Yosemite National Park, and when I was there, they gave you very specific guidelines on what to do for bear safety, and also what to do as far as to safeguard your food from bears and from bears breaking into your vehicle. They can literally tear a car apart to get at food, and their sense of smell is very, very keen. So, I just wanted to, like I said, to really stress to you that there are definite advantages from taking this class now, but also in your future, of course. As we move forward, there is, for the 22nd of the month, which is coming up, you're going to have to do a letter, and there's actually going to have to do a letter for the 22nd, and then you're going to have to do one for the 29th. So I'll clarify those, later when I do the announcement after next week. And then we're going to have to do a discussion board in that time frame, and that would be discussion board 5. And I'll clarify that as far as that goes. And then, so like I said, letter 1 and letter 2. and then will be due like the 22nd and the 29th, and in that time frame there will be one other discussion board. And then as we go to December the 2nd, I just wanted to talk about that. For Monday the 2nd of December, you're going to have to do a resume assignment. And if you want to preview that, you can actually go to www.collegecentralcom/WCCC, and you can go in there and you can create a login. You can create you have to sign in initially, register, but then you can create a login and a password. But initially you have to create a profile, but you're going to need your student ID number, which is on the very front of your ID, to log in initially. But then you're going to start receiving email from college services on internship opportunities, job postings related to your area, your major, and so on, and all of those. So you'll be seeing those coming up. But anyhow, in terms of the resume assignment, which is due on Monday the 2nd of December, you're going to have to post a resume, okay? And I'm going to get up here for a minute, if you don't mind, and I'm going to grab a booklet, and I will be right back. But yes, sorry about that, but here it is. This a guide to career planning and the job search. This is a booklet that's available through Career Services here at WCCC, and they have these sitting out on the table back in that area. I cannot mail these out to every student in the class, since I already mailed out those red booklets of sample assignments, but I did want to, they kind of change this a little bit, yeah. I did want to refer you to, there's a couple of examples in this booklet. This one is on a student that's a dental hygienist, and this other one, this pictorial one, is one that is on a student that's in early childhood education. And the one, like the Victoria one, she has her objective: competent, caring professional with training experience in early childhood education, seeks a group supervising position. And then she has her competencies, which are related to her program, her education, honors, clearances, and professional experience. Her professional experience were her practicums that she had in the program. You could also list like key classes or skills, which would be, if you learn Microsoft Office or and so on, skills that you gain while in college, and of course volunteer experience, which she also has, Greensburg Head Start, Special Olympics, and so on. But you would do more of like an education-based resume, which would highlight your experiences as a college student. And so there's a couple of different examples in this booklet. But like I said, it's called A Guide to Career Planning and the Job Search. And the people that offer this guide, they're in the back of Student Services there at WCCC in, I think that's Founders Hall 172. But just wanted to mention that to you. So you're going to have to create a basic resume. And just while I'm thinking of this, if you go to Word and you go Microsoft Word, you click File and you click New, you will see different examples of templates. And then if you click the one that says Resumes and CVs, and you can click the one that says Situation-Specific Resumes, okay? And there's a resume for a recent college graduate, which would be pretty good for you to use. And so you can use that one. Or if you also want to look, there's other resume examples in there, the basic resumes. They have a chronological resume, chronological college graduate. They have a college graduate functional resume. And that's like on the second line of those choices. And you can look at that, but basically you're filling in a template. And, that's more or less how it works. So You have to do a resume and you have to post it to College Central, to the resume section, and you'll see when you go in there. And then Career Services looks at it and they approve it or don't approve it. And then once it gets approved, then you can forward it to me. And then there's also a portfolio section in there. And so you just have to post 3 documents. The documents that I would most recommend would be like the customer service evaluation, assignment 2 on writing effective email, good and bad written instructions, summary of sources for your consumer report. If you even wanted to, you could do your your written instructions or any like that. But you're going to have to to post 3 documents into that. So that's more or less, like I said, how that works. And just let me finish this off. For Friday the 6th of December, you have to do a quiz. The quiz, which I'll make available here very shortly, it's 12 questions worth 4.5 points each. It's open book and open notes. When you do that, though, refer to the book. Don't just give general answers, but it's not hard. It's just time-consuming. So it's due on December 6th. Don't start it on 10 o'clock on December 6th because you'll never get done. It's going to take you about 4 to 5 hours to complete, so it takes a little bit of time. And then finally, you have to submit a last discussion board for your consumer report, like by Friday the 13th. And then you have to submit the consumer report, and that would be it. So sorry I had to leave and get this guide to career planning and the job search, but I just wanted to show you that. And I wish I could make more of these YouTube videos. It's just that I'm very busy these days, and but today is sort of a quiet day, and so I thought that I would make this. So anyhow, I just wanted to update you. Thanks.